cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know?
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
What's up, people in chat? Adam, I hope Adam and Helen is doing well. Yeah, but this heat is insane, y'all. I'm literally just coming to film and then I'm out. What's up, Rosie? Rosie R. J. Thank you, dear. Blessings to you. Today I'm in a not so spicy mood. I'm feeling a lot better. Yesterday I was way too hot and just not having it anymore. So today I'm early. And what's up, my man, Adam? What's up, Marissa? Jax Stormo. Hey, Jay, happy weekend. Yeah, today starts my weekend and I'm only here and I'm filming. My air conditioning broke. I'm having a bad luck streak, but it's all good. AC broke. What's up, Italian girl? Juror 13, just like the old days. Very few people in here. All good. I'm here to film. Then I'm out. Happy 4th of July to everybody. I hope you guys light up the motherfucking sky. Adam, I'm sleeping outside tonight. Van is going to be out till the end of next week. Well, it's camping, and guess what? We're camping too. We're in our RV. I'm going to have to send you pics, my man, because you're going to love our RV. You're going to want to come out and hang out with us. Scary Sherry, what's up? Maria Alviar. Hi, Jay and everyone else. Michelle Lalonde. Hey, everyone. Going to be listening. Making banana pudding cheesecake bars. That sounds amazing. Tanya says, good morning. Rosie, thank you for gifting a membership. You're amazing. That's what happens when y'all come early. Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. And I hope somebody gets a gift membership that really wants one. And hi from Australia watching. All right. Well, since you guys are here, we should get started then. Italian girl, RVs are nice, but they're also work, but it's all good. Juror 13, my day one mod boss. That's right. And Juror 13, I hope that you get that gifted membership today. You deserve it. Sydney Police, happy 4th. Yeah, let's get this party started, folks, so then I can get on my way to my RV that has air conditioning and we got a pool and all the fun stuff. So today we're going to do Psychology of Deception featuring Chris Watts with Deception Detective. And we know how that guy works. Deception Detective is a mastermind and we love to learn everything about the cases, but I love when he's talking about psychology. So today we're doing Watts. Of course, it's Watts Wednesday. And then we're going to talk about the Miller house. And it's amazing how much different the Millers made it look. But yet last week we speculated about it being haunted possibly. And now we're going to talk about domestic violence, because domestic violence is why the Millers are selling their house and moving. What's up, Lou? I got your email. I'm sorry you're feeling sick. Hopefully it's cool there. Go to bed, relax. Deb, yay, you got added. Oh, you got a membership. I messaged you. I thought you had a wrench. Clar, I thought we would not see you till Monday. No, I'm here for Watts Wednesday and then I'm out. Then you won't see me till Monday. All right, so let's get started and then I can get cool again, because right now I'm hot and I'm glad it's not a big busy day, because otherwise it'd be trolls. What's up, Gothic Bree? Haven't seen you or heard from you since yesterday. It's like Bigfoot, very rare sightings. All right. Weirdo Watts Wednesday. Yeah, but we love Weirdo Watts, and I love Deception Detective, frankly, and Watts the Obsession. Watts the Obsession did this amazing video for us, enhance the audio, enhance the video, and now we got this guy. Let's go.
His mouth were walking me through it. And now within 2 minutes, we have Chris talking about the relationship generally and even some random relative named Cody. This is a lot of sensitivity for someone who's already confessed to the murders and already knows they will never step foot outside a prison ever again. Does Chris's reticence and deceptiveness mean that he's covering for someone like Nicole Kessinger? Not necessarily. People lie for a lot of different reasons. Join me in trying to figure out what his motivation could be for being evasive, when for all intents and purposes, it seems like he has nothing left to lose. What actually happened the morning of the Watts family murders? I'm deception detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis, and this channel exposes lies and manipulation.
All right, folks. And if you don't know anybody that lies or manipulates you, trust me, you will know somebody that lies, manipulates you. After you listen to this, you're going to be thinking, is that person lying to me and manipulating me, or have I been manipulated before? And Phil Bond, hello. I love your voice. Oh, I hope you're talking about my voice. Not sure if you're talking about his voice, but you love his voice. You love my voice. It's my channel. Thank you all for being here. And thank you for coming early today. Let's talk about deception and the psychology of deception. We learn from these guys. That's why I like studying serial killers.
Today, we'll analyze a rare 2019 interview for signs that Chris Watts lied about
What's
the
the
morning he
obsession?
murdered his entire family. This interview was uploaded by friend of the channel, What's the Obsession. If you want more in this series, let me know by watching this playlist, liking, and commenting below. You can also become a channel member and vote on who we analyze next. Without further ado, let's listen. We're going to pick up about 50 minutes into the interview, where Chris is telling the investigators about Nutgate, an argument he and Shanann had because his mom exposed their allergic daughter.
Nutgate. We're lucky that there's a few people not here today talking about this kind of thing. Ooh, today I'm not going to be tricked into trolls, by the way. Been manipulated and gaslighted, but I'm wiser, and we're wiser together. Let's go.
To nuts.
Oh, it's real.
Do you know it's serious? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, it wasn't like her throat like closed up, but she broke out in this full body rash. It looked really, crazy looking. And luckily, like, nothing with a throat like happened. But
So did that make you angry at your mom for doing that?
yeah, I mean, I just like, Mom, I told her you need to think, you need to like, pay attention. Just because another kid can have something doesn't mean another kid can have something. Because like when we were at that birthday party at Jeremy's that Sunday, they had this cake there. Like Bella wanted it so bad. I'm like, can't give that to her because she thinks she can't have it. She was like, okay. And all the other kids were like, they can't have the cake. Like I just kind of took them off and gave them some like one of those frozen pops or something. But it's just like she had to learn that just because one kid has something, there's another kid that can't have it for a legitimate reason. Like she couldn't have done it, but
what is this
that's the
guy
kind of talk I
talking
had with her.
about?
When Shanann called me,
Like,
I think
bro.
it was maybe like middle of July or something when she told me all this had happened. That's when I called my mom and talked to them for a while, and then they're just like, they just couldn't deal with her anymore. Shanann just kind of like, they like flipped out. Like that.
I mean, this guy just offed his whole family for some vajayjay. We all know hashtag vaginatized, folks. And he's sitting there talking about Shanann and the fight with his wife about giving his daughter some freaking nuts. What is this guy talking about? Like, why is he even talking about this? I can't wait to see what DD says about what he's saying, why he's talking about it, and what could lead him to even lie about this. What?
She told Bella to go hide behind the curtain because I don't think your mom was going to let you come over here again or something like that.
Oh.
So I got heated. Oh, it was bad. Really? Yeah, it was like a last straw. I think.
Like in the same room or over the phone?
No, they were at
They were really
heated. Yeah.
If you saw part 2 in this series, every manipulation tactic explained, you'll know it was Chris who brought up Nutgate in the first place. And now he's bringing up even more irrelevant topics, like another birthday where his mom made a faux pas and he had to lecture her about it, or his relatives' reactions to his and Shanann's argument. In that video, I determined that Chris was a master manipulator for his ability to evade questions with tangents like these. I also pointed out some other manipulation techniques that he used, which you're likely to have encountered in your own life. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I recommend watching it after this. However, this video isn't about whether Chris is a master manipulator or even a psychopath like we explored in part 1 of this series. Instead, here in part 3, I want to assess his version of events for signs of deception. Whether it's because he actually blacked out and can't recall what he did, so he's trying to fill in the gaps, or because the murders were premeditated homicide 1 instead of a slightly lesser crime of passion.
Which is interesting because there's no crime of passion involved in this at all, as we know. I mean, he took a plea deal so that he wouldn't get the death penalty and supposedly would save the families, his mom, his dad, from having to hear about and see the autopsies and all the horrific things that the children's bodies went through in the oil tank. So I don't know that that's the case, that he was trying to get a lesser charge, or what he was thinking, or if he just wasn't thinking and he was just talking and trying to make small talk after offing his entire family. Let's hear what Dee Dee says. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
because he's protecting an accomplice like Nicole Kessinger, as some people speculate, or something else entirely. And I'll go over all four in this video.
But Cece and Bella and my niece and nephew were there.
Okay.
How did Shanann find out about the ice cream thing?
Because Shanann was there, and I guess they were all sitting, one's couch was kind of like a U, and my niece went into the kitchen, and she knew where the ice cream was.
So it's not like your mom gave it to her? Like she got it out?
Yeah, she went in the freezer, got it, went out and stopped beside Cece and started eating. So, but like, it's just a matter of like, Cece could go like that. I don't know what happened if she just got it on her hand. Right.
Again, he's making this conversation after family annihilating folks. And no, Nicole Kessinger never admitted, nor did she ever have to even come close. She had daddy with her. We've done lots of interviews with Nicole Kessinger, and we know that Mr. Watts was vaginatized, but she'll never admit to her participation. And I think that's the big mystery of this case, is why we're still looking at this case. Why are we even looking at this case and examining it? It's because we didn't get the full lowdown on this, and we still think that maybe she was there. Why didn't he tell us? Why did he do a speedy trial? Why did he just take the plea deal? We didn't get to hear about anything. So that's why we're analyzing this guy here. He's talking about getting peanut butter on your hand, and he doesn't know if his daughter that is now passed away at his hands would get nut allergies. What?
But like, I know on like the prick test, on the back, it's like a well.
So were they staying there at your parents' house during that time?
Yeah, it was. So they would go from from Sandy and Frank's house for like a few days or 5 days, and then go to my mom and dad's house for a couple of days. Back and forth.
So it happened during that time. They were there, yeah.
And so there were so many things that happened, weren't there? They just were little tiny ingredients to this recipe.
Yeah, nothing like
nuts, Chris. I mean, it's just so many things just didn't go your way.
Everything was like somebody was stirring a pot, and it was just
exactly what it was like.
That was part of it, huh? Interesting.
I know I keep bringing it up. Can you walk me through? That's just the last.
So it kind of sounds to me like, and if you didn't pick up on that, it's part of his confession and part of why he just kind of blacked out and couldn't stop when he started choking Shanann. And that's what happened. Yeah, vaginatized, #vaginatized. That's funny. So some of it was him being upset at the argument with Shanann and his mom over the peanut allergy, which is really freaking weird, guys. I didn't even realize that before, because I've heard him whining so much about so many different things that maybe he did just black out. And I wonder what Dee Dee's going to say, because I think that it was premeditated. I remember him saying at one point he had to do it, and it was something that got in his head, and that was it. He was going to do it. So I don't think anything's on the table, no death penalty, and it doesn't matter what he says.
Last few minutes before Shanann died.
On the channel, I've analyzed lots of interviewers. For example, Dr. Phil, Nancy Grace, Chris McDonough of The Interview Room, and Piers Morgan. And the interviewers here are among the best we've seen so far on the channel. And that is because they recognize Chris is going off on tangents, and they bring him back. Remember, the first time they brought up the question of what happened the morning he murdered his family was around the 40-minute mark of this interview. We are now 51 minutes in. In other words, Chris has been going on tangents and evading discussing the issue at hand for about 11 minutes, which is a testament to his ability to manipulate, to evade questions and dodge them and distract his interviewers. But these interviewers let him go off on a tangent, and then they bring him back to the topic at hand. And if you want to see an example of an interviewer who gets totally fooled by this technique, I'll put that at the end of this video. For now, what we can deduce from this is that Chris is very sensitive about the morning of the murders, which makes sense. Now we need to determine, is he filibustering and trying not to talk about it because he's embarrassed about it, or because it was premeditated, or because he had an accomplice?
I don't.
Okay, let's get into this. And before we do, you're right, Bree. The reason he said that was because if you listen carefully, the person that was interviewing him actually just suggested that. That's the only reason he said Shanann did that, was because they were trying to get him to confess. So he literally just went with that story because it didn't matter what level of confession, right? If you get a piece of pizza and you take a bite, you still took a bite. It doesn't matter if you took a bite from the side, the top, the bottom, or wherever you took a bite. And they were just trying to get him to take that bite and confess. So that story is just a hoax that was from the investigators trying to get him to confess. And yeah, Chris did buff up beforehand and he was able to carry the load to the truck. And he did do that. He was all jacked up on those damn patches. Thrive.
Now I keep bringing it up. Can you walk me through just the last few minutes before Shanann died?
It was pretty much just like I got dressed for work and then like we started talking.
Did she come to you?
No, I was just right there in bed. Yeah. So I was just like, I got my blue shirt on, my and everything. I was ready to go. And
Was she asleep, or did you have to wake her up to finish your conversation? Or?
wake her up because like she got on like 2:00, so she pretty much out of it. But I never knew like if her plane got delayed. Someone always told me like she just like sat around with Nicole, just like talked for a while and came home or something. I'm not sure if that was still delayed. Yeah. But yeah, when she came home and everything, but yeah, like I woke her up to talk to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is that because it was just eating at your?
Yeah, like I knew like something like something was all right with me. So I know like she knew. I just knew she knew. I just felt like maybe the kids were going to be there when I got home that day.
Oh, interesting. Now, I don't mean to offend, but I have to ask: is that really the truth?
I really felt like they weren't going to be there when I got home that day.
Oh,
Like she would take them somewhere?
No, I just felt like either maybe I wouldn't go home, maybe they weren't going to be there, or I wouldn't be allowed in. Type thing.
I think I saw some text messages where Shanann talked about that she would take the kids to another state or something because she wouldn't be able to afford to live in Colorado or something like that.
Is somebody trolling really that early, folks? Are we really blaming things on patches? Now, today, I'm not so hot. I'm not so agitated. So are we really talking about, let's not blame the patches. I'm sure no one else killed their Come on, folks. I'm ready to go today. I'm not on my terrible game. I'm not at 2 hours. I'm 17 minutes in and I'm ready to rock and roll. So if we got trolls, bring them on. That's funny. You guys are funny.
Did she say that kind of stuff to you, or what did she say about that?
She said she couldn't afford to live in Colorado on her own, and that I told her like, well, you can drive, which pretty much makes the same that I do.
Yeah.
But as she said, she wouldn't want to try just because Colorado just the price of living there was a lot higher than North Carolina.
And just so I'm clear, you thought maybe she in your mind you thought maybe she would take the kids somewhere else or like lock you out of the house or
just like I wouldn't want to make a scene like trying like.
So he's leading up to telling them what happened. He's got like 6 more minutes, and I'm sure we're going to get into that soon, but he's really dancing around the topic. And this is how we find out about manipulators. If you think somebody's manipulating you and they're dancing around something and it takes them a while and there's a reason for it, this is how you find out. JoJo is my girl. She saved me yesterday. I love all my mods, but JoJo and I were singing NWA after the show. We really are some real mother G's, and we were singing some NWA. So JoJo's not playing. So if you start drama here, and especially when I'm not paying attention and you're trying to throw me off after I've been going for 2 hours, don't think about it, because the mods, especially JoJo's not playing. All right.
I don't think we're trying to get in or anything like that.
Once in a while.
Like, that was what I did on Sunday. It was kind of like, or Saturday night, kind of like the last drop. I like going out with somebody and reaching an account card and just like not trying. I don't know.
Yes.
So walk me through it though, because she comes home, she touches you, you guys have sex, you fall asleep, then you wake up for work, all natural, all a normal day's work type thing. Yeah. What was it that made you think I just can't do this anymore? I have to talk to her.
I was eating away at me. Like I knew like something, and everything that I did, like.
If you're not aware, I've consolidated my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation into what I call the deception deck. And I'm happy to announce it is now available as an app. And the reason I mention this is I have an entire card in the deck about assessing stories. And one of the 4 ways to assess a fake story is by looking for inconsistencies. And while we don't have any hard inconsistencies, we do have something he said which actually made the interviewers also perk up and ask him, is that really true? And that was when Chris said he woke up Shanann to have an argument, because so far throughout this entire analysis, Chris seems to have done everything possible to avoid any sort of confrontation. Right. In fact, in my last video, I suggested that might actually be one of the contributing factors to the murders. The tragedy of this case and the irony of it is that it was Chris's cowardice which led to the murders, in my opinion. He was too cowardly to tell Shanann he wanted to get a divorce and deal with that fallout. And he was too cowardly to tell Nicole that what they were doing was a mistake and he wanted to break up with her. In his twisted psychopathic mind, eliminating Shanann and his children was the easier option.
Definitely not an easier option, folks. There's 111 people in chat. Hit that like button so we can get the algorithm. Hello, everybody, and happy almost 4th of July. Everybody's going to be chilling tomorrow. What's up, Coach Complete? You always make us laugh. And, well, frankly, you look like Deception Detective and like me when I'm in Deception Detective mode. So 111 angel number, folks. Hi to Coach Complete and the Deception deck. And I don't get anything for saying this, but I love his Deception deck on my phone and in my deck. It really does help me analyze videos, and I just like learning. So get a Deception deck from Deception Detective or get the app. It's pretty freaking awesome. You can type in something, liar or manipulation, or looking for something, and find it real easy in the app. Michelle, you're funny. You're killing me. Yes, that's why these are my peeps right here. She said, oh, and you know what? I get to get back to Watts. You guys are crazy. You threw me off. They're trying to find out if Nicole was involved, but obviously Chris wasn't going to say. If she ever was, I don't know if he's ever going to say. I don't think that she was actually there. I think Nicole pushed him to the edge, and he is a weak man. He couldn't do one either way. He couldn't break it off with Nicole or break it off with his wife, so he snapped.
When someone doesn't feel emotions like love or remorse or empathy, butchering someone is a lot easier than the tedium of arguing with them for the next 18 years. So does the fact that Chris said he woke up Shanann to argue with her and break up with her mean he's lying? Of course not, right? People can act out of character. But it is something we should make note of as possibly false, just because it doesn't match up with anything else we've seen of him so far. And the interviewers seem to think the same, which is why they pressed Chris again on the issue to confirm whether or not that was true. So before I hit play, let's do a little bit of practice here. The interviewers pressed him on a detail that's probably false. Chris is a master manipulator. What do you think he will do now? Do you think he will elaborate and answer their question with more detail this time? Or will he go on another tangent to evade the question?
So walk me through it though, because she comes home, she doesn't see you guys have sex, you fall asleep, then you wake up for work, all natural, all, a normal day's work type thing. Yeah. What was it that made you think, I just can't do this anymore, I have to talk to her?
I feel eating away at me. Like I do like something, and everything that I did, like I know, like when I was with Nikki, it was different. Like I wasn't even like in the realm of I'm a dad, I'm a husband type thing. Oh, and then like I was saying, when I'm never at home, like sleeping in my own bed, like I have no like concept of that anymore. Interesting. But it was in your mind and heart, you can move on. Like it kind of felt like if I wasn't at home, like I didn't think about it almost. Like if I wasn't sleeping on my own, but like I think there was at one point, like Nikki had gone to Mount with his friends for like 2 days, like into June, first part of July. And then like, that part, obviously. All
right. So Dee Dee's going to call it out. Coach called it out immediately on a tangent, which he's obviously trying to deflect from what happened. I mean, you just annihilated your entire family. Whatever you actually did, I think he brought the girls with them and smothered them at the oil site and then shoved them into the oil tanks. If you believe that or you don't, that was his last time that he spoke in the letters of Watts. He immediately went on a tangent and told us which nobody cares about actually really what he was feeling, or we really don't. We're just trying to get answers. We didn't care to hear that he couldn't live that way anymore because he wasn't in his own bed. Now he's got to play the husband role, whatever he's talking about. Yeah. Cringe his voice. I tried a new vape called Spaced Out. I'll tell you, I went to Saturn. Yes. All right. Let's listen to his whiny voice and I want to hear his confession, but I also want to hear what DD has to say. Because I don't feel like he's a master manipulator. Maybe he is now that he's been playing back and forth with Shanann. And if you believe between Shanann and Nicole Kessinger, he also had a couple other flings that came out and said that. So maybe he is, but I just don't see him as one.
See him home. But like from that whole month of July on, it was like I was never home. Okay. Like I never had all those reminders. I never had you know,
Not
like,
hot.
every time my wife called me, I would be at Nick's house.
Oh, while she was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would like, walk outside and talk to her, like when I was next to the car or something like that. I would never be at home looking like have all these pictures around me and just being in the same bed, seeing my kid bed, seeing everything that we built for the last 6 years.
And so, did you just want to once and for all
Yeah.
get it out in the open?
I just wanted to tell her how I was feeling at that point in time. Like I didn't feel like me and her were compatible anymore. Honestly, I didn't feel like that because what was going on with Nikki, it was new. It was new.
Right. Absolutely.
Anything that's new always feels better than the old.
Yes.
You were probably bitten by the love bug.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was just like I never felt that. I mean, even like with new relationships in the past, like it always felt different. Like the first couple of weeks, and then but it just with someone with Nikki felt different. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just like you said, like I was more in control, and like it was more of like maybe more of me coming out. Because Shanann always said like it always seemed I was more myself around other people, like her cousin Cody, like Cody lived or came up visited us for a little bit while we were in Colorado for a little while, and Cody always talked about like, oh, Chris is so funny. Chris is like Shanann would always.
Basically, that's what those guys' faces are looking like over there. They're like, all right, get with it. We know what happened. Your family's gone. We know what you did. Just tell us. We don't care about how you actually feel at all. What's up, Sarah Williamson? You just missed a lot of squeaking. So I'm glad you made it too. You didn't miss a whole bunch except Chris crying when really now in hindsight, if we can learn anything, and yes, Adam, yes, if you can learn anything, learn not to be a weasel like this guy and just outright say it, do it, take care of what you need to do. And I don't know what he did, but hashtag vaginatized what Nicole Kessinger did to him or how she pushed him to do this. But boy, did she push him to do this.
It's like, why do you never like that with me? It's like, well, maybe I always felt nervous.
There's only so much oxygen in the room, right? I say this to some people, what dominant personalities, I
just always felt nervous. I always felt like I was, never could actually just be myself. Right. Nikki, I was myself like all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Huh?
Well, and it seems as though, and again, it's hard to talk about, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but it also.
When I hit play, the first words out of Coder's mouth were walk me through it. And now within 2 minutes, we have Chris talking about the relationship generally, talking about Nicole, and even some random relative named Cody. If you haven't recognized it yet, this is a textbook tangent. Even when Chris addressed the interviewer's question about why he would have woken up Shanann, he answered in the hypothetical, well, I wanted to tell her. He doesn't speak in the past tense, which is a great indicator of someone telling the truth, which would have been, I told her. In other words, this is a lot of sensitivity for someone who's already confessed to the murders and already knows they will never step foot outside a prison ever again. Does Chris's reticence and deceptiveness mean that he's covering for someone like Nicole Kessinger?
And that's what we keep thinking. That's why we keep coming back to this. And Jen Brick, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad the case still baffles you and me and Watts, the obsession and deception detective. But for me, I don't think he went from a good guy to a family annihilator. I really, truly think he was doing this in between. Some people said that he was on Tinder and was having, one lady said that he went and met her at Chick-fil-A and they did it in the backseat of the car. Yeah, Chris only cared about himself. And when you saw him most of the time, he was a real quiet guy that let Shanann boss him around, but then he snapped. So I'm not sure he went from good guy to bad guy so quickly. And that's why we're still looking at this case. What's up, Mr. Beers? Happy early 4th of July, the crew. Yeah, no, I think we think, and he looked like the perfect husband because of what we saw Shanann saying about him. That's not true. We're debunking that right now.
Not necessarily. People lie for a lot of different reasons.
Yes,
it's one of the cards in my deception deck. The quote on the card reads, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Albert Einstein. When analyzing statements, it's important to consider why the individual might be lying, as there are numerous motivations beyond guilt. Put yourself in their shoes and consider. 1. Protection. Could they be safeguarding something such as an investment, relative, or their own pride? 2. Avoidance. Are they attempting to evade negative outcomes like shame, jail, or retaliation? 3. Gain. Might they be seeking benefits including attention, financial gain, or closure? And 4. Could they be influenced by other factors such as activism, psychological issues, or a simple mistake? All the reasons I gave at the intro to this video fit into this framework. He could be lying because he sincerely blacked out and something was guiding his hands and he's making up parts to be cooperative with the police. Or the murder was premeditated homicide 1, and he wants to portray it as if it were a crime of passion, or because he's protecting Nicole Kessinger, or any other number of reasons. But so far, what we can say for sure is that he's extremely sensitive about it, because whenever the interviewers, and they are great interviewers, bring him back on topic, he gives just a tidbit of information before slipping off the hook with a tangent. As we listen on, join me in trying to figure out what his motivation could be for being evasive, when for all intents and purposes, it seems like he has nothing left to lose. Or does he?
It seems as though, and again, it's hard to talk about it.
It is interesting, and he doesn't have anything left to lose, but he doesn't know yet because the confession hasn't come. So he's still trying to get around it. He thinks he might slip out of it. I wish these interviewers were the same ones that interviewed Nicole Kessinger. I can't get this out. If they were the same ones, I bet she wouldn't have slipped out the way she did. They let her just vaginatize them too. And she didn't even have that. So deception detective, what's up? Everyone's saying Chris' voice reminds him of Stephen Stern's. I feel the same way. Yes, it's got that mousy little weasel voice. Something going on in the background. Let's listen to it some more. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. We love your content, and you bring us content for Watts Wednesday.
You tell me if I'm wrong, but it also seems, is it accurate to say that sexually you were able to say, Nikki, this is what I would like. This is what I'm into. Or blah, blah, blah. Maybe not what Shanann.
No, Nikki just wanted, she wanted what she wanted. She wanted to do it pretty much all the time. I was like, okay, that's fine with me. Okay. With Shanann, it was like, I'm like, hey.
Of course.
Sometimes it happens and sometimes it didn't, but that wasn't the case as far as that way. It was like sexual. It was me. I was just want myself. Just not think about what I was going to say or plan what I was going to say or not, say something stupid or something.
Right. A little bit of freedom.
Can I ask you something about that morning that you had sex with Shanann? Did you feel at all like maybe you were kind of cheating on Nikki by doing that?
I felt strange. I felt like, the first time I was with Nikki, I felt weird. First time, sure. And then the last time I was with Shanann, I felt totally strange. I was like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I had become. I felt like I become people I see on TV, and that did not feel right with me. Like I didn't know what had happened to me. Mm-hmm. So Nikki even asked me, like, have you done this before? Have you go straight away? I'm like, I've never even thought about it. It's like, what's different? It's like, I guess it's just you that's different because I just never actually like I've seen girls smile at me before, never done anything about it. But her, it was just like,
yes,
like she had a leash on me and she tugged me away.
And you're right, Adam. NK was a freak. We saw all of her interviews. They were much more appealing because we got to see her her Googling and talking about threesomes and double penetration, all that kind of stuff. Coach Complete says he finally got attention from a girl and he lost his mind. They did it all the time is what he said. Like he's a 16-year-old. We did it all the time, detectives.
I'm like, the heck, what's going on? So,
well, and Tammy brings up a very good point. I wonder if that last time with Shanann having sex had somewhat of a role in you thinking, I got to do something. I got to say something. We got to have a talk. Something's got to change. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I just felt like it was like maybe like a trigger point or something like you hit the push button on a bomb and it just blows up.
Right.
Something in my head was just like something was hurt. Just like I had to say something.
Okay. So then exactly what did you say and what happened?
What has Chris been doing here? He's been going on yet another tangent. I didn't point out this tangent because I wanted to see if you pick it up on your own. If you picked it up, great work.
Yes, Coach Complete stole your look. Every time I see Coach Complete, I'm like, is that Deception Detective? And then I have to look again. Nope, it's not. It's Coach Complete. But Coach Complete gets us laughing and you get us thinking. So today we're doing Psychology 101, the psychology of deception. And then we're doing the Watts Miller House Uncovered Secrets. We're wondering if you think that house is haunted, or do you just purely run on your analysis? I'm curious.
If not, don't worry, because I think this is the last time Chris gets away with a long evasive tangent. According to the timestamps conveniently provided here by Watts the Obsession, this appears to be where Coder gets Chris to finally discuss the details of the morning of the murder. For example, you can see the next few timestamps are about the details of that morning, where Bella walks into the bedroom, or how he put the family into the truck. So what I will be doing and what you should be doing as we listen to Chris's response here is understanding that even a psychopath like Chris does not want to lie. And once the investigators take away the easy stuff that allows him to evade answering questions, he has fewer options to.
Okay. So then exactly what did you say and what happened?
And before we get into this, I want to address Rosie. You say, Jay, yesterday's live, you had so much information to share that no one else knew about Maddie's case. I was happily surprised. You the girl. And you're right. If you were to go back on a lot of my videos, I have lots of information about that case because I do have people in Florida that I talk to about the case, and all the time it's just like a constant thing. As a matter of fact, somebody from Florida called me today after the video and gave me more information about the case. I can't say anything yet, but keep watching, okay? And we're talking about Stephen Stearns, Jennifer Soto, Madeline Soto. Stay tuned on that because there's a lot of big things coming and we're hitting in waves, and the next wave is coming. Just think about July 10th. Map it out.
So when I woke her up, and it's like, hey, we just gotta talk.
Thank you.
And it's like I told her, I don't feel compatible. I don't feel like this is gonna work. I just, I don't want to. Like, can we cancel the trip to Aspen? Because she booked the trip that week.
Before we start this, can any of you imagine now? I'm coming up on 19 years this month. It's going to be my birthday. I'll be 45, 19 years being married. Any of you that are married, can you guys imagine just waking up your wife or your husband after 8 years, 3 kids down, like, hey, we're just not compatible anymore. That's a joke. If I said that, I'd get stabbed, folks. Just saying. Like, if Guilty of Crime doesn't come on for the next live, you know that I said to my wife, hey, we're not compatible anymore. That's a joke. Thank you, C. Vincent, for saying that, because that's just an absolute fucking joke to say that. Yeah, you'd be outraged and you'd stab somebody. I'd get stabbed if I said that. Just saying. Deception Detective would be analyzing my channel about me talking about me getting stabbed.
To go to some like mystery 4-star luxury hotel or something.
Just the two of you or the whole family?
Just me and her.
Okay.
She had Amanda Bayer and watched the case that weekend or something.
Okay.
And I was just like, can we cancel that? Can we like do something like that? From what I remember, I even said, can we move to Brighton just to get away from like this house?
Oh.
But like, I'm not sure if that was like.
His voice does sound pressured, and he sounds like Stephen Stearns. He does sound really mousy and just like he's completely lying and has something that's really right here that he wants to say, and it does come out soon. So, Deception Detective, I'm already analyzing what you just said. And I'm sure you are analyzing what I just said. If I don't show up for next Thursday or next Monday's live, just know I got stabbed for saying, babe, I don't think we're compatible anymore. I can't even say that. Oh, 19 years.
Like in the beginning, in the part of the conversation or whatnot.
Woo.
That conversation was so many different ways. Like they'd gone from like staying together to not staying together to just like all the above.
Okay. So this is half an hour, what?
Definitely not more than half an hour. I think. Okay. I don't think.
Are you crying? Is he crying?
I'm crying
like,
right now, man.
She's got mascara. She didn't wash her face when she got home. She had makeup on still, so mascara was running all over her and stuff like that. Yeah, it was nothing about that conversation. I just wish I could take all of that. Just the whole thing back, everything. But
So when did it turn?
As far as the conversation,
What's up, Stonefly Blue?
When I was telling her, like, I told her I didn't love her.
Man.
That's what happened.
What happened?
I'm going to pause it on I don't love you anymore. I'm crying right now. It's so funny. Like every time I have Coach Complete in here and then doing Deception Detective stuff, I'm like, it's like the funniest thing. Like my eyes are watering because I'm laughing so hard at this shit. All right. I know anybody out there could imagine being with someone 3 kids down. See Vincent's like, yeah, that's not going to go down. Hey, the RV's already there. I just have to drive to the RV, folks. But just imagine what Chris is saying. Look at what's on my screen. I don't love you anymore, and we're not compatible. I know you're pregnant with my baby and all, and 8 years isn't anything, but I've got 19 years in, 2 kids, 4 dogs, a house and a half, and whatever else. I'm going to be stabbed. Just saying.
Something get off her.
Oh, man.
Did you say she said something like you were hurting the baby or something?
Yeah, that was before that. Because like when I was straddling her, it was kind of like around her waist type deal.
In this
I'm saying
brief
I
segment,
would.
we have an entire royal
Oh.
flush of deception deck cards we could apply to what Chris said, from weakening modifiers to minimizing adverbs to a question with a question, discrepancy verbs. I won't go through all of those here because I've gone through all of them in different videos. What I'll point out here are the two that most apply to Chris. And once I point these things out, it's almost impossible not to hear them. And just remember, if we spot that someone is using something from the deception deck that suggests they might be lying, that still doesn't tell us that they are lying for a particular reason.
We're not lying for a particular reason. And Coach Complete, DD said, Coach Complete says DD is guilty of crime and actual danger. No, I didn't eat a gummy. I didn't eat anything. It's just funny. Like what Chris Watts is saying is absolutely ridiculous. Like the cops, the interviewers, investigators have real tangible evidence and they know what's leading up to it. And the shit he's saying is just absolutely ridiculous. And that's what's making me laugh.
So it's still too early to say, hey, he's lying because he's covering for someone or because the murder was premeditated or for some other reason. So the first one I'll point out is something that appears constantly in the comments of my Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts videos. And Guilty of Crime did a great post about this over in the DD forum.
Oh, thank you.
And that is the word like. I get constantly asked, why do they say like? Are they Valley girls over in Colorado? And if you listen closely, Chris isn't necessarily saying like. He's saying just like. For example, he said, I woke her up and I was just like, we got to talk. He says the word just as much as he says the word like.
Look, everybody, there's my hair down there. You can see my hair. Oh, you can't see it anymore. Look, there's my hair, and there's my Nicole Kessinger Tricky, and that's our Watts Wednesdays. So he doesn't say like, and we just found out that Chris Watts is not a Valley girl, folks. He is actually just what Deception Detective's saying. There's my hair down there again.
Like, and just as I've pointed out in a previous Chris Watts video, is a minimizing adverb. So you'll typically see a liar use the word just to downplay something incriminating that they did to make it sound less severe than it was. When he says, I was just like, we got to talk, it could be that he was shouting something much more aggressive at, listen, I got to tell you something before I strangle you, which is very likely closer to what actually happened. The second one is, I think. Liars sometimes use uncertainty expressions like I suppose and I think to soften a lie, a tactic known as hedging. And this is the classic hedge where someone declares something, but then they make sure to undercut it with an uncertainty expression tagged on at the end. Well, it was only half an hour, I think. I didn't strangle her, I suppose. When someone uses an uncertainty expression to hedge their statement, it means that you can't take what they said as fact. You have to dig deeper. As we listen on, look out for those things, as well as a temporal lacunae. And if you don't know what that is, I'll point it out when we pause.
I'm not sure.
Yes, please pause. Please pause when it says whatever you just said, because whenever I read that card, what did he say? Temporal lacunae. I never know what the hell that means. So thank you, Deception Detective, for pointing that out. And thank you all for being here today. We have 132 people in chat. No, I am not in distress. My wife is actually at the pool right now. She says she's been there for 3 hours. I could be in distress because I forgot to go to the pool today. Carly, I was supposed to go to the pool today. Remember? He said shrimp tempura. That's what he said. Shrimp tempura. Now we're hungry.
That was like in the beginning, or the end of part of the conversation or whatnot. That conversation was so many different ways. Like they'd gone from like staying together to not staying together to just like all the above.
Okay. So this is half an hour what?
Definitely not more than that.
Okay.
I don't think.
Are you crying? Is he crying?
It's like, she's got mascara. She didn't wash her face when she got home. She had makeup on still, so mascara was running all over her and stuff like that. Yeah, it was nothing about that conversation. I just wish I could take all of that. Just the holding everything back, everything. But
so then when did it turn?
As far as that conversation, just at the end when I was telling her, like, I told her I didn't love her anymore. That's what happened.
I don't love you anymore. Just imagine.
Just get off her.
I can't even. DD, I got your cryptic
Did
message.
you say she said something like you were hurting the baby or something?
That was before that.
It was subtle, but that was the temporal lacunae. I rewound by about a minute. I'll just read you the rule on the card. Words such as after, then, while, when, and within X amount of time indicate a leap through time. Liars often use these terms to omit incriminating parts of a story. And if you didn't catch it, Chris leapt over the part where their conversation about moving and going to ask him turned into him straddling her on the bed and him having to get off of her. Agent Tammy Lee picked up on it, which was great. But a less sophisticated interviewer might have missed that. And once again, this goes back to the psychology of liars. Liars typically will do anything they can not to technically lie. So if you distract the interviewer, you don't have to lie about the thing that would make you look guilty.
Nicole
If you skip over
Kessinger.
the thing that would make you look bad, you're not technically lying about it. You're just omitting it from your response. And then, as I pointed out the last time I paused, and with all the cards I showed during this part of the video, hedging is the next resort, basically using your words to say, what I'm telling you is not necessarily 100% true. And all the times where Chris said like, besides being a verbal crutch to buy him more time to think, it also means that, well, it was similar to whatever I'm describing, but not exactly that way. For example, if I tell you, well, my bike is like a Harley, that means my bike isn't necessarily a Harley. In fact, I'm telling you it's not a Harley. If I were being candid, I would tell you my bike is an Indian. So we need to be aware as we listen on for all the hedging, all the evasion.
And you guys got to know, Carrie, you're here, and a lot of you are here that we listened to that interview with Wade Wilson. He did a lot of the temporal lacunae, or what did we call that? Shrimp tempura, you guys are calling it. It's what I didn't realize what that card was, and now I know. So he was skipping over things, and we were like, what? Was he in the jungle trying to get to the, he's like in the car, and he couldn't drive the Hellcat, and he was trying to get to this lady's house, but then he like killed 2 girls on the way. So that was Wade Wilson, and now this is Chris Watts. Very similar, just lying and making up stories and fast forwarding, going back, telling us these things that make no sense to evade lying and getting caught.
And at the back of our minds, we need to be wondering, why is he lying? As I said earlier, this is a guy who's in prison for the rest of his life and has already confessed to the murders. So it would appear that he has nothing left to lose. So why lie?
Actually, like when I was straddling her, it was kind of like around her waist type deal.
Why did you get on her?
I just when we got on the bed, that's just where I got on.
All right, it's not shrimp tempura like Coach Complete says. Verbal hedging is not fully committing to your statement. So you talk about something and then you fast forward to another part, or you move around like Chris has been doing the whole time instead of just saying what he did. Now he's talking about, why didn't I let go? This is the part where he's actually committing to the statement, and we're getting the confession. He didn't let go, the invisible force.
Is that so she would listen to you?
I felt like she could probably listen to me just laying beside her, but I got on top of her.
Oh, shit.
And every time I think about it, I'm just like, did I know I was going to do that before I got on top of her?
Really? That's an interesting thought, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if you knew.
Just like everything that happened that morning, I don't know, like I try to go back in my head. I'm just like, I didn't want to do this, but I did it. So everything just kind of like,
I felt like you had to.
It just felt like it was, I don't even want to say it felt like I had to. It just felt like there was already something in my mind that was implanted that I was going to do it. And I woke up that morning, that was going to happen, and I had no control of it.
You never thought about it before.
See, and this is where we step in and we wonder what Nicole Kessinger had, what part she had, how she pushed him, if she gave him an ultimatum and said, if by this day you don't do this, yeah, here comes a shaky voice, let's go. But yeah, I wonder what happened and what point that Nicole Kessinger, where she stopped in this and where Chris started.
It was just like, I don't want, like when, like just like in the sentencing hearing, that prosecutor said it takes 2 to 4 minutes, something like that to happen. Like, why can't I just let go? I didn't.
Couldn't let go.
I just let
Was
go.
it feeling like it was in motion and you just couldn't stop it?
Yeah, it was just like, I don't even want to know what she saw when she looked back at me, honestly.
Did you look at her? What was she doing?
Fighting.
Praying for him?
Why do you think she wasn't fighting?
I don't know, maybe she was praying. Maybe she was just. Now I read the Bible. It said, the scripture says, don't forgive these people for they do not know what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she was saying that. I don't know what she was saying in her head, but she,
thank you.
Like when you guys told me to take off your shirt and check.
Coder asked Chris, so you'd never thought about it before? What did Chris say? Rewind and see, did he answer that yes or no question, or did he evade answering it? That might be the closest clue we've had so far as to why he might be lying. It's a lot better to be thought of as someone who snapped and couldn't control themselves than someone who sat there for a while and thought and planned the murder of their entire family. The next segment of this interview gets into some heavy material.
Thank you, Sophie. Awesome live tonight, as always. 199, and we are from where? These are pounds. So, Britain, and thank you. We love Deception Detective. I love when Coach Complete comes in here. I love you guys when we're all chill. We love when the trolls are chill. Sometimes it's funny.
Timestamp 107 discusses his daughter Bella walking into the room. Earlier, I mentioned I had a video about an interviewer actually getting distracted by a tangent, and that's on your screen now. If you want to continue the series, please let me know by giving my DDX Chris Watts Nicole Kessinger playlist a watch and by liking and commenting on this video. If you're already a channel member, please vote on this week's member poll.
Yeah, go ahead. This is new. You guys probably, I'm surprised there's not more votes for Sherry Papini. I would like to cover that one. So hopefully you guys vote for that one so we can get that going. Of course, we always want more. We want more Jen Soto and Stefan Stearns, but there's only so far you can go with that because, well, we've done quite a bit. So at this point, I would like to go over the Miller house, and I want you guys to see the house before. I've never Coach Complete says I never laugh so much watching true crime, right? You come in on topics that are a little lighter. I don't think we laugh as much on like Madeline Soto and some of the other cases, but we like Watts Wednesday because it's really chill. These things happened and now we're talking about why they happened, but we love when you come on. All right, I'm going to put this next one up. I don't know how much of it. We've been here for an hour or we've been here for 51 minutes. I don't know how long we're going to go. This is Plunder, but I wanted you guys to see the house now, what it looks like now and what it looked like then. Here's the now portion of it. There's the then and then the now. And we're going to talk a little bit about, if you didn't know, what Chris Watts had to do to go through what they went through. No, this is not paranormal at all. That would actually, those real killers, I can't use their content. They like demonetize my video, which is okay. No, it's not paranormal. It's the Millers were the second people in the house and they moved out because of the domestic violence. But if you didn't know, I didn't know what they went through, the Watts, to get this house. So they went through all this stuff. They got it built for themselves. They had it made custom. They did all this. And then Chris goes and kills his whole freaking family, y'all. What? Muma, thank you for the super sticker. Happy 4th of July to y'all and happy birthday month to me. So I just want you to see that they went through a terrible amount of things with the kids, with Shanann being sick, with the putting the house together, all the things. And then he just destroyed it in one instance.
And you saw that photo of them, like they were up in the risers, or when the house was being built, it was like they were kind of up. Hopefully I can find it. I can put the photo here.
You will. There it is. All right. So that's a sad picture, everybody. That's sad because this is when they were happy. Shanann looked happy. Chris looked happy. It was before he lost his weight and thought he was something special. But this one, it was being built. They went through all that, had the kids, got pregnant again. And then just how many minutes you think it took? 5 minutes a person to just wipe out his whole family.
She wanted it to be her dream house. And the Millers, I don't know if they're just making a smart financial move or why they're leaving so early. Now, you might remember back on November 22nd, 2022, when the Millers purchased the home. I mean, that's what property records say. They show the home in Shanann Watts' name, Frank Sr., her dad, Ruchek's name at that point. But then it was obviously granted. The grantees are the Millers. The sale date actually was November 16th, 2022. They were able to purchase it for $600,000. The Millers were. And apparently it took a lot of doing because the realtor back then had posted this on Facebook, but now it's gone because there was so much drama surrounding it. The realtor had posted huge congratulations to my buyers on their closing. It took everything we had to get here, but finally.
And there's the dogs looking through the house. Just is really interesting. Thank you all for being here. You're making me laugh. You're making my day better. It's much better than it was yesterday. And yeah, Skanky Empanada, Fat Boy Chris. He did just look fatter. You're right. Just because people are fat, I always assume they're happy because food makes you happy.
Finally, we got here. So happy for you guys and can't wait to see the memories you make in your new home.
Oh, let's see, go faster.
And then she continued, I'll edit to add, since it's been asked, yes, this was the Watts house. It is now the Miller home, and they cannot wait to put love, family, and laughter back into this house. She had written something about hearts, and I guess it says something about hearts in the post that showed the family in front of the Watts' home. It said, we hope to honor you.
Yeah, you're right, Coach Complete. He actually still has that psychopathic look in his eyes. The one where they compared a picture of him when he was in high school to his picture of him being booked for wiping out his whole family. Yeah, no, we're not the channel that blames. We don't victim blame. And Shanann was just online too much. Her world was exposed, I believe, and she showed everybody everything to sell her product that she was selling. I know, look at that shirt. What is that shirt he was wearing? That's that one company that they think that they spend $40 or $70 on a shirt and they think they're like really something. Yeah, and the chain, absolutely just ridiculous. Look at that guy, man. That's how you knew he's going to wipe out his family. Look at that hairline there. All right. It wasn't
you in this home. I think they were dedicating this to Shanann because they knew she had, poured her heart and soul into this home, into her marriage, into her motherhood, into her career. And they had written, we hope to honor you in this home you once called yours, and to fill it with smiles as you did. Thank you for making this a peaceful home. Peace and love is all we have felt since the moment we first walked through your door because of you. We hope to have you all alongside us on this new chapter, Hearts. So that's what they had written, posed in the kitchen. So there's the wife and the husband and a little boy, a little girl, and an older girl. And people kind of just flipped out over this. People didn't understand the Miller family. In a way, it was almost like a continuation of what Chris Watts could have had if he hadn't taken that demonic evil action of doing away with his family. There's the husband, looks like a great working guy wearing his jeans, wearing his hat. There's the wife. She looks beautiful. She has like an off-the-shoulder type black shirt, and people were even accusing her of trying to dress like Shanann. I don't know. I don't see it in this photo. And then there's the older girl who's standing up, and the two little kids, the young daughter and the son, the baby boy, he's sitting on the counter. And it really creeped some people out, I guess. It represents what could have happened if Chris Watts hadn't have taken those horrific actions. Like he said, even in his prison interview later, he would have had his daughter, Bella. She would have been older. And at that point when he was interviewed.
All right, we're going to go a little further in this because I want you to see later on. And I'm not going to watch the video. So this is when they're looking through the house. This is Watts' house 17 months later. No ghost this time, Coach Complete.
We'll make a note of that.
I really hope they do come out and write a book or something, or maybe it was a short-time investment. I mean, look, I think they can really get $775,000 for it in this market.
Someone should look this up. I think they put the house up and I'm not sure that it sold. Yeah, the wall colors are all over the place. Remember, that's Shanann. What's up, Sandy K? How you doing? They're all over the place, but the Miller family really changed that up, and then some domestic violence happened. So people are saying, oh, is the house haunted? I don't really think it's haunted. I think there's probably bad vibes at the most when the whole family is taken out. So I kind of want to see where we go with this. Let's watch some more. I'm not going to watch the whole video. It's too hot. Thank you.
Advice.
Rest in peace. Good night.
The ledge, and imagine Nicole Kessinger has been in this house and peeking around. I don't know which bedroom she was really in. And this area upstairs where there's just a little couch now, it reminds me of where Shanann had like that ottoman where the girls would jump and play with their blankets and the Pittsburgh Steelers blankets and everything. So, and it reminds me too, sadly, of when the cops came in and they released that house.
This is when Chris comes out and they're meeting him for an interview and he's all hyped up and he starts talking about he just wants his family to come back. Somebody was talking about that yesterday and how he was rocking and how Jen Soto was rocking. So I don't think they're going to show that in this video, but just remember, yeah, no more Ed Hardy, but he's definitely douchebag status. trying to make his shirt fit him so you can see his muscles that he doesn't have. Definitely a
house so
DB.
quickly that night, just within hours after the crime. It reminds me of seeing Shanann and Chris's bedroom with those big tall pillars, pillory, as Nicole Kessinger called it when she peeked in there. And were they able to just put that aside? I mean, it looks really different. The master bedroom looks different. Oh, always kiss me goodnight. It's decorated really well. The chaise lounger, a great bed.
There you go, folks. There's no more of those pink walls anymore, but the family did split up and the house is going for $775,000. Would any of you buy it for that much? I think they originally paid what? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, $350,000 back in the day for that house when they bought it. Chris Watts and Shanann when they had it built. Very interesting. I wonder if it's still for sale.
Bed. I mean, it looks like a little doggy bed there too. Yeah, this house will be great for someone if they're able to really fix their gaze on something other than the crime. Here's the bathroom. It looks the same where the shower is and the bathtub, and it looks pretty glorious. And it's reminding me of when Shanann, did that one live video where she had like the charcoal mask on her face and she's, ordering Chris around, do this. I should make him pour me some wine. Do this, do that. And the beautiful kids' bedrooms. I mean, really gorgeous. And some of it they kept the same. The laundry room looks like the same color. The same blue walls look very similar, and even down to a similar type rug on the floor. And so the blue bathroom is reminding me of when Chris Watts was telling the cops, oh, it's locked because the girls had gotten in there. They had gotten Vaseline all over the place.
What's the story?
You guys can't even deny that that's sad right there. I know we're laughing and everything, but when you see that picture of the baby, Chris holding the baby, and then I mean, that's just terrible. There's him with his cool chain, but that's his baby girl. He took those girls' lives. Just sad. This is really a terrible crime, but serial killers, family annihilators, they're the perfect study to study. Yeah, such a waste. The perfect people to study because you can learn so much about them and their actions and prevent future actions from happening. Yeah, it really is. He really is a sicko. When you look at that absolutely beautiful baby, I would take her in a heartbeat, and anybody else would. There's no reason for him to do that. Let's go a little bit more. There's the downstairs. Remember, he used to be in the downstairs.
He has a nice little table down there in the window. It has even kind of like outdoor furniture.
Okay, folks, that's where his bed was. Do you remember he had the bed downstairs and he was completely full on cheating on his wife by then? And Nicole did go down to the basement. Yeah, very interesting.
Down there in the basement, and then moving on to the deck and of course the backyard where the girls played their swings. It reminds me of where, Chris Watts was mowing the lawn.
Should have just walked
and the back has even been painted white. There's a little satellite dish out there, and you can see the house where Nate used to look, where Nate, the nosy, wonderful neighbor, used to live. I believe he doesn't live there anymore. I'm not sure if his mom still lives there, but boy, who will get this home? I think people will always focus on this home and wonder about the fate of this house because it was such a stressor in their marriage. Of course, it was Shanann's dream. And wouldn't that be every woman's dream, to live in a gorgeous home, have a gorgeous family, raise your children there, and have a wonderful life? Unfortunately, it did not turn out that way. Chris Watts let the demons of indecision and non-confrontation and temptation and everything overtake him to the point where he took away his gorgeous wife, his beautiful children. And does he think of that every single day? I would expect he would. Chris has opened up a little bit over the years in various interviews.
I want you guys to talk. Some of you said you would buy that house, and there's somebody that's going to buy that house. If you guys would buy that house, let's say it was a little bit less, you can get it because it's the Watts house. Would any of you buy that house? Let's say 650,000 would hit a 1 if you'd buy that house, hit a 2 if you would not buy that house because you think there's just too much bad juju. Me personally, I wouldn't, but hey, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't buy the Chad Daybell house unless Carly went half with me on the Chad Daybell house. That's only 350,000. I would do that. Coach Complete says, Jay, you should buy that house. I would not buy that house. I would buy the Chad Daybell house and go halves with Carly on it and just sell all the books in there. A lot of you say no. I'd live there in case I had no other place, only that circumstance. Yeah, but 600,000 isn't really a little bit of money. I mean, compared to San Jose, which is like 1.4 million, let's do it. Let's buy Chad Daybell's house and we can sell the rest of the books that he has and all that creepy shit in his house. Yeah, we can get some smudge sticks, Carly. Graciela says she'd do it. Hell's no, I wouldn't buy it. No murder houses. I'm down for Chad Daybell. If I had a little extra money, I'd go in on that with y'all.
Views and talked about what he did. I mean, obviously,
come on, we could have tours at the Chad Daybell house.
He took Shanann's life in this home, in this master bedroom, and he dragged her down the stairs. According to him, he attempted to take the girl's life in the home, and they survived, and he took them out to Survey 319 and ended their lives there. It's horrible to think about. It's shrouded in mystery. Chris Watts claims, yeah, the pressure was there because Shanann liked to spend a lot of money. Obviously, the drive-by Lavelle thing, the MLM thing was not working, even though it's all smoke and mirrors and they want you to think MLMs are great. They are not usually. You're bringing in money if you're lucky, but you're also spending out a lot of money to the point where the mortgage went unpaid for a while. This is all public record.
And this is all just things that happen in marriages, folks. Not that my mortgage has gone unpaid, but a lot of you people are here. You've been married. You've gone through stuff. That's not something that you would take your family's life over. And yeah, Coach Complete, I was waiting for you to say that. What's that tattoo on his arm? Straight up douchebag tattoo, folks. And that's why I like Watts Wednesdays, because we can say stuff like that. I was waiting for Coach Complete to come on and talk shit about that tattoo. That was like a tattoo that you pick off the wall when you walk into a tattoo shop. You're like, hey, I'll take that one that 25 other people got. That is, yeah, it was tribal. It was like a wolf head or something. Yeah, we'll have to see that again.
And they were able to catch up a little bit, and then I think they got behind again, and it was more, I think, about looking fancy and looking at what can be seen, what's supposedly glorious looking. It's all the facade that a lot of us might play into, fall for, until we think deeper, until we look deeper into what really matters. There's nothing wrong with having a glorious, beautiful home. Don't get me wrong. There is something wrong with it when we are stressing, making ourselves so worried about money because we can't afford it and we're living above our means. And no shade, many of us have done that. But Chris Watts took it to the nth degree. Instead of trying to really talk to Shanann about how he was feeling, the pressure he was feeling, or what have you, he let those demons whisper in his ear to, maybe go start an affair instead, maybe go look.
And if anyone's to talk about demons or light, I would say Paula from Plunder. She's, she does the prayers every time, says a verse. I know that she's spiritual. I don't know how religious, but she always gets into that. So I thought this was a good video to share for that type of thing. And is there bad juju in the house? Would you buy it? I want my tattoo to match my shirt. I want that right there. Exactly. Yeah. I also don't like he's a Steelers fan. We don't claim him in Pittsburgh. We don't claim Chris Watts anywhere, and we don't blame Shanann. I think those MLM things are pyramid schemes, in my opinion. People that try to sell you stuff and get you into the Ponzi scheme, so to speak. But I'm not saying anything bad about Shanann. She was making it work for her family. Chris obviously wasn't making enough money.
Look the other way instead, all this pressure, monetary pressure, and I feel like I'm being bullied or whatever he was feeling at home, taking that instead another route. Let me go hang out with this Nikki girl from work. She seems cool. She's a cool girl.
Oh, wait, there's this tattoo again, guys. And girls, hold on. Oh, I missed it. It went so quick. All right, it was a douchebag tattoo. It wasn't a wolf head, but it was definitely a douchey tattoo. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's like, it's pretty bad. It's like a sun. He picked it off the wall for sure, everybody. And what's up, Savage Barbie? I'm not gay, but she is very hot. And Nicole Kessinger wasn't. Honey, put on 10 patches on your shoulder, right? Show him off. Pretty bad, everybody. But I mean, in all reality, this guy just, I think he couldn't step up, and he couldn't say what he needed to. He couldn't let her, he just flipped. And maybe he had to have been a psychopath in the making, and then he snapped. I don't know. Nature versus nurture. What do you guys think? Why isn't this not play?
As Vanessa from Unmasked said in that wonderful breakdown of Nikki Kessinger, that deep
Did you hear that? Vanessa from Unmasked. Shout out to Vanessa from Unmasked. Definitely's got good Chris Watts content. Great content for Chris Watts. That and Watts the Obsession.
Dive. Chris went the wrong way. Even when God warned him, turn around. You're slipping and sliding in that truck. Turn around, you're going the wrong way. And no, he didn't listen to the Lord. He didn't turn around. He attached himself even more to this evil demonic situation, to the point where even being in this home, one day, everything boiling to a head, he allowed it to consume his whole family. He allowed it to, it makes no logical sense when you think about it. Like you think, just get a divorce or talk to your wife about the problems. Don't take it out on your wife and kids to the point where you harm them. But no, that's what he did. This was the setting for it. Who's going to be able to step into this home and not focus on all these scenes we've seen in so many body cam videos? And the mystery still, I still think about that woman from September 22nd, 2018, was it? The September lady. Court documents say that witnesses saw a woman, I guess, get out of a black truck, enter the home. This is after the crime, after Chris Watts is in jail. Enter the home from the front door, and then did she leave through the back sliding door? It's such a mystery. It's a mystery to me. And there was this huge response from the cops because they were like, who's in this home? Who shouldn't be in this home? And that's another mystery. It's another weird, creepy thing that there was the child giggle in the closet. I know a lot.
I actually don't think it's that mysterious. I heard something about that, and I heard that it was one of his, like he had one of his lawyers or one of the lawyer's friends come into the house to get something or help sell it. Maybe they needed funding or something. I don't think it's that mysterious. I just wanted to say that. I also wanted to say, yeah, I never understand why people risk spending their life in prison. I don't understand. That's not even the depth of it. I think the depth of it, why would you take out your family that you spent so much time creating, right? It's a compass tattoo. It's probably just as fucked up as his moral compass. Agreed. But you know what I wanted to say is, Nikki, did you guys know that Nicole Kessinger did that photo shoot for herself? When you see Nicole Kessinger and you see those pictures of her, that looks like the now updated, the pictures that people used to get and put on the wall. She actually did that photo shoot for herself so that when she was in the press, they could use that picture of her that she got done. Just saying. And yeah, scary, share your own babies. Yeah. We talked about that earlier and we showed a picture. Very sad. It's getting hot in here too, like beyond hot. I'm going to have to go soon.
A lot of people say that's been debunked. Allegedly, it was some toy in the closet when the cop's dog walked in and maybe stepped on a toy. Other people feel like it wasn't a toy. I still don't have all the answers. I don't know who the September lady was. I don't know if that child giggling in the closet was really a toy or not, or something supernatural, this spiritual warfare going on in this home, going on within Chris. And the scariest thing is Shanann not knowing how just whacked he was, how deep it was, the thoughts that he was entertaining. I mean, he was scaring her. He was scaring the girls.
No, they didn't show up for the AC yesterday. The people that I called didn't show up for the AC. The AC's broken. We're at the RV park right now. What more luck can I have? So our RV is beautiful and it has AC, but I'm just here filming with you guys so that I can get out of here and go to the park where there's cold. Well, that child giggling was guilty of crime. That was me. It was when I was filming that day and I was showing the house. Oh, yes, I am a child at heart.
But no one could have predicted the supposedly good guy would go this far. So what'll happen? Will someone purchase the home? Probably. In this market, yeah. And maybe, I hope it's God-led. All these comments, some people have so much to say about what should happen with this home. Some are impractical. I know people from the beginning, some people have wanted it torn down and please build a park, and it would be nice. I mean, I think that would be a great tribute if they could do something like that, if they would have done it from the beginning. The home torn down and a nice little tribute to the family, a nice tribute to the victims, a nice play area. But, practically speaking, you're sitting on nearly $1 million worth of...
Yeah, they're not going to do that. Let's go a little bit more.
Driving by still, too much focus on the house, too much attention, or maybe it was a money-making move. Like, who knows? Maybe they knew, yeah, let's get in here at $600K. It's still going to appreciate, and let's get out after 17 months. I don't know. It could have been. Could it be a situation like the Amityville Horror? If you remember that case in Amityville, New York, this one guy, what was it? Whatever his name is, DeFeo, Amityville. That Amityville Horror,
Robert
that
DeFeo.
Ronald DeFeo.
Oh yeah, Ronald DeFeo. You guys remember Amityville Horror? He took his family's life with the shotgun, went in room by room, and then hence Amityville Horror, if you believe that. Paula does have a soothing voice, and she doesn't film live either. It'd be amazing to collaborate, but she doesn't do that. She doesn't want the YouTube drama, and I don't blame her. And yeah, the RV is not for vacation. It's because it's hot as hell in here, and we don't have a roof. So no ceiling. I mean, we have part of a roof, no AC. Coach Complete, thank you. I'm about to get out of here soon too. Thank you. Great live. I'm so glad DD came in. Coach Complete, I love that you look like DD, and he saw you this time, so he knows. He's watching you. He knows you stole his look.
Jr., where he did away with his family. He was tried and convicted for the 1974 killings of his father, mother, 2 brothers, and 2 sisters in Amityville, New York. And he ended up dying in prison 3 years ago. Boy, did he ever repent. I just wonder, everyone, what happens to their souls, you know? You just know what the Bible says. If they're not repenting, if they're not turning to Jesus, any of us, no matter who we are, we have to turn to him to be saved. Because this life is just a blip. We're talking eternity here. So this Ronald DeFeo guy committed this horrific crime in the 70s, and then another family moved in, and that's why they created.
Okay, if you don't believe the Watts house is has bad juju at the very least, do you believe the Amityville Horror House has some kind of stigma to it? Thank you. Thank you, Scary Sherry. Happy birthday. Thank you. I'm going to have a good birthday month because of you all. So thank you. I don't care if it's hot in here. I don't care. Whatever. I don't care. I'm still just going to have a good birthday month. It's July. I'm going to be 45. And it's just going to be a good one because that's the only choice I have is to have a good time, right? Thank you, JoJo, for gifting the membership. I hope somebody that really needs that membership gets it. And Amityville, for sure, that creeps me out. I've watched all of them, and I wonder, like, there's people that live in that house to this day at the Amityville house. They refaced the house, and I haven't heard of any problems. So, I mean, tell me what you think. How come some houses can do that? Some points it can be evil and then not. I'm also a July birthday. I'm a Leo. I'm at July 25th at the very end of July. So I get to celebrate all month long, and I get to celebrate with you guys. And yes, I am Shorty. It's your birthday. I'm pushing 5 feet tall. 5 feet, folks. 5 days apart. Happy birthday. You're a Cancer, JoJo. Yay. Happy birthday month. How many vile whorehouse? Absolutely true. I'm in Suffolk County. There's tons of times they reface the house and it's like nothing like I did right. How many vile? Yeah, they just reface it. And they did that with this house, everybody. They did that with this house. They just refaced it and it didn't work out. You're a Leo. No wonder I like this channel. I'm a Taurus and most of my besties are Leos. Yeah, we're definitely out there. July 31st. So you are a Leo. Thank you. I'm glad you're a Leo. You're in the Leo crew. And if you're not in the Leo crew, at least you like the Leos. We're a little bit much. And yes, Cancer. Yeah, I'm a Leo. I don't fuck around with that. Unfortunately, you're unfortunate. The better with age, girl. You're good. Jamila, no worries. I'm 5'2". You still got 2 inches on me. Happy birthday, Crime Crew. Let's watch a little bit more of this while everyone's saying happy birthday month, and then I'll get out of here. It's hot as hell in here. On the bottom of my screen, it says very hot weather, and it says it's like 103 or 104 outside. That's hot.
That movie eventually, the Amityville Horrors, scary. Allegedly, now some of it might be just bunk because supposedly it was kind of played up for the book or the movie or ratings or what have you. Allegedly, there was a whole bunch of weird stuff going on. You know, maybe the walls were bleeding or people would hear the voice, get out, you know, all that stuff. We don't know what was true or not. Of course, some stuff is just faked for the movies, but spiritual warfare is real. God is real. The devil's real. Angels are real. Demons are real. You have to be on the side of God. Someone wrote, I wouldn't want to live in a place that people were killed in. It's probably costly. If I could, I would gut it and rebuild it. I just don't think I could be comfortable in a place that held such tragedy. And people keep talking about demolishing it. The bank should demolish it. And they're talking about all the place enveloped with such sadness. And people are wondering, they're getting a high return on their investment. And that's true. Other people are talking about Chris got off easy, as well as the other woman who knew he was married, but became the source of his motivation. No chance, someone wrote, not even if it were free. And so people are just...
Yeah, you guys are on the same boat. I think everybody is like, either you would buy the house and you'd do it for an investment, or you'd be okay with just getting that vibe out of there. I'm going to take this off because I'm just going to look at your comments. It's 103 and about to head to SJ. Are you San Jose Giant? San Jose? What's SJ? Anyway, a Giants game. We're in San Jose. I don't know if you're saying that, but it's 103 out here in San Jose. My wife's already at the pool. She said she'd been there for 3 hours, and I forgot all about it. I did remember to take out the trash, Carly, barely. Go chill, don't dehydrate. Yeah, I got to get some water. I forgot to even get something to drink before I got on here. I'd lived there. Shanann spirit would have motivated me to get up and early cleaning. Yeah. All right. Leo here, Faith and Repentance, says, thanks for all who've shown their support, whether attending the lives, hitting the like. Thank you. Live, subbing, donating, membership. You're all appreciated. Thank you so much, Faith and Repentance, and for all of you. And thank you for being just such great people tonight. Thank you for the super chats, super stickers, hitting the like, sharing, subscribing, and having fun with Deception Detective Coach Complete. Remember, Watts the Obsession is where we got the content from. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, much love to you. I just emailed you a little bit ago. We appreciate all the hard work that you put into these videos and making them sound better for us, making them look better. I haven't cleaned it out as I work. Family members of Shanann, there's already been 2 owners of the house. The second owner, they already moved out, and that's why we're talking about the house. Kimberly Verdun, you're the best crime channel out here, straight up. That's because you're having fun. Thank you so much. I love you all. Why did I just say 49 or something? I don't know. Thank you all. I'm hot. I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back next week. You guys have a great 4th of July. Don't blow your hands off, please, because I need you to hit that like button and subscribe. Have a good night, y'all.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?